Age.
23.
And your name.
Andrew Thompson.
Your name.
Matthew Goodland.
And your age.
22. Too long.
I'm JP and I'm 26.
It was from Cameron Rickerby, who owns CrossFit Sligo. He worked in the golf club. I played a lot of golf, and he told me about joining CrossFit Causeway, and I did.
My brother, when I was in 5th year, we used to work out at just like a normal gym, and then he was like, oh, there's this thing called CrossFit. And then I did it, and I was like, this is so dumb. I'm not going to do this ever again. And then here I am.
5 years later?
5 years? 6? Probably like 5 or 6. 6.
That's
So I should be so good at CrossFit.
I'd come across it before I went to Australia. When I went to Australia, I started watching some of the CrossFit Games and Rich Froning. And then tried my first CrossFit workout was one of the open workouts. Andrew will know it's the double unders and snatch. It's like 30 and 15.
11.1.
That's the one.
Do you remember your first CrossFit workout?
Fran.
The one I did with my brother, I did Fran with like a TRX rows, and because I was real chunky, TRX rows and like 25 kilo thrusters. The first workout I did in a class, I think, was possibly DT or an amalgamation of Helen and Cindy.
It's also very CrossFit.
So CrossFit. All of the CrossFits.
The first one that I remember was Fight Combat. That was awful.
Ooh, that's bad.
I remember this, but not right now.
Not wanting a real job.
Oh yeah.
He wants to grow up.
Wearing sweats to work is just the best thing. So it is, and not like having a stuffy suit and having like regular hours and getting up at normal times. Who wants any of that stuff? Just 6:30 in the morning, coaching, trying to be bright and cheery is just the best.
Mine's kind of an evolution of where I was going. I finished rowing, started coaching rowing, got really frustrated at coaching rowing because the stuff I was getting the kids to do, they enjoyed far more the stuff that wasn't rowing, i.e. CrossFit, and then thought, well, why don't I just coach this?
Hard question.
Super
Is a
hard question. I like seeing people achieve what they previously thought was impossible. Not even just what they didn't think they could do, what they didn't think that other people could do, never mind themselves. And it happens quite regularly. It's pretty cool.
Not the big firsts, like not first handstand push up or first like muscle up or first bar muscle up or something like that. Just like first like push up on your toes,
Yeah.
or like first time using like a RX barbell in a class or something like that.
Yeah.
Just wee things like that rather than the big firsts.
That's cool.
For me, because I love coaching weightlifting, it's probably seeing people do it right.
Looks so much better.
Yeah. Snatch.
Snatch is probably my least favorite thing to coach. Like, it's my most favorite thing to do, but snatch is not fun to coach. Something that's like short and intense, so like minute max calories on the bike or something like that. Something that just ruins people, and then I can just shout and scream at them for however long it takes me to finish that workout is the best thing to coach.
My favourite thing to coach is also sometimes my least favourite thing, and it's rowing. I love it because I get really excited about it. It's what I did for 10 years. But I hate coaching it because in general other people don't share my passion, and I find it frustrating when my passion doesn't rub off on them. So I love coaching it when people care. I hate coaching it when people don't. It hurts my soul. Other than rowing, I hate coaching weightlifting. I hate it so much. I would ban it for life.
No barbells.
No barbells.
There's a hard part.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
CrossFit. That's so good.
That's more Kool-Aid than Andrew.
Oh gosh.
Ball balls.
no.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay, so
Yes.
just a wee second. It's going to mess up the whole system, but it's sitting the wrong way round.
Yeah.
When people don't share our OCD-esque tendencies,
Yeah.
so wall balls going back in the wrong place, or just like big thing for me is like thumb tape just being left either in the chalk bucket, which is nightmarish,
That's gross.
or
It's never happened here.
on the
so
floor.
Has it? Oh.
I just little things like that, or plates going back on the wrong place for plates to go, or dumbbells not in nice neat rows, or kettlebells not in nice neat rows, or
again,
currently-
faster kettlebells with row kettlebells.
Oh, yeah, that's bad as well.
Yeah.
Or currently, what I'm looking at is the rowers have stickers on the bottom of them.
It's
And
been bugging me so much.
they're currently numbered 1, 3, and 2, which
And they're spaced
Yeah.
unevenly as well.
It's kind of annoying me a little bit.
Um,
That's not technically a hard thing about coaching,
No,
though.
it's
But
just
well, no, the hardest thing to coach about that is just getting people to be on board. Like they'll do all of the fitness, they'll do
Yeah.
everything you say, all of the stretches and stuff. But when it comes to putting kettlebells back,
but why does it
they
matter?
just don't go back in
As
order.
long as
Why
it
does
goes over
matter?
there, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but then you have to spend ages trying to find it. Anyway, this is not permission for you guys to mess with our heads. I will rain down burpees on anyone that does. Coaching putting equipment away.
God. Whatever people don't have enthusiasm for. So sort of going
Yeah.
off the same thing as you were saying
Yeah.
with the rowing. If I'm teaching something like even super basic like a push-up, and people are just sort of uninterested because they're like, oh, it's a push-up, that's difficult to coach because it's hard to get people sort of on the same train of thought.
Yeah, because I think you can explain it and you can be excited about it, and you can try and get them to understand why it's important. But unless they, there's a two-way street. We're excited. There has to be excitement coming back. Did you say one?
No, I didn't.
You dodged that one.
You did dodge that one.
What's the
quite well.
question again?
What's your least favorite thing to coach?
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Super coach Andrew.
I'm just good at
I love
everything.
everything. CrossFit is the best. My first workout was Fran.
I did it in under 3 minutes. RX. Chest bar.
80 bullets.
That one time.
I don't think I've had a single defining moment
No.
yet.
There's a lot of, you do get a lot of cool moments. So, I guess I don't know if this happens to you guys. A lot of people would come. I say a lot of people, a few people, would come up and say, just very genuinely how much they've appreciated what's happened here, what they've benefited from it. Like last night, somebody came up and said that this CrossFit thing's really working. I took 6 minutes off my half marathon time. Now you're probably going to figure out exactly who that is, but things like that where it suddenly dawns on them how things have changed, how much they benefited, or whatever, whether that's physically or bigger than that mentally. I love hearing about people who are like, I was really unhappy before. I find that this has fed through into my relationships with my family and relationships with food and things like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Same as we were saying earlier on with the buzz about being a coach, just all of the little things. So like first push-ups and first time going RX in a workout, or just little things like that. Rather than there hasn't really been one big thing that I can go, yeah, that was really sort of super memorable. It's all just sort of lots of little things.
That's kind of the same thing you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
pretty
own
much.
goals.
I think
Small improvements over time.
I want to take this as not a personal dig.
Yes. Some classes are boring to coach.
Super boring. If we look at what we're trying to do here, we're trying to teach people, educate people, and allow people to have the tools to do this stuff themselves. So part of that is letting go and not trying to control everything all the time. And some classes, it is, okay, here's what I want you to do, go play. And while we'll jump in and give you a pointer here or there, it is a thumb twiddler, and that can be boring sometimes. Some workouts, there's very little to do. There's only so much mental encouragement or manipulation that we can do, and it's just letting things play out.
Where would you like to see CrossFit Ballymena in 5 years? Still in Ballymena.
Yeah.
Much of the same, just a little bit bigger. So a lot of the times when gyms get, or CrossFit gyms specifically, get very large, the community aspect can be quite diluted. Whereas here, since there's not the biggest gym about, the community is quite sort of tight knit, and I wouldn't like to see that sort of dilute. So if it was exactly the same as it was, just like bigger with more people, that would be spot on. So good.
One thing I'd like to see is eventually down the road, if we get more specialised coaches for us to learn from and for you guys to learn from.
Yeah.
Two-way street. We'll become better coaches from it,
Yeah.
and you'll also get better coaching.
Where I would like to see CrossFit Ballymena in say 5 years was the example. I started the gym not as a business person but as a coach. I don't really want to run a business. I want to be a coach. So in 5 years' time, I would like to have a gym manager. I would like to have somebody who does the books, does the admin, allows us to do our job. I spend about 60% of my time when I should be coaching worrying about the business and not on members. And I find that really difficult. I don't think it allows me to do my job as well as I could. But I don't want to get to the point where I step back from coaching. I know a lot of gym owners do that, and that's fine, that's cool, that's what they want to do. So that's where I'd like to see it. I'd like somebody to run the business and allow us to coach. The reason for setting up the gym is kind of linked to that. I could have pursued just coaching, but in my opinion, we run the gym here differently from a lot of places, and I think it would have found it really hard to get a job at a gym that allows us the creative control to run it this way. I don't think many places would do it this way, and I really like it. I like the message we're trying to portray. I don't know if we're doing it the best way we can, and that's what we're constantly trying to work on.
Fucking rolling in it. Money for days, rolling up in a Bentley.
You need sandbags, just fill with money.
Yeah. Obviously, because it's big bags of money.
Exactly.